So this one's gonna be about motivation, because it is actually one of the things that is really important to have, and yeah, you gotta change if you don't have it. Well, at least for some things, I guess. You do not have to be motivated to do anything, I guess. But yeah, let's see you after the intro, or let's see the article after the intro. And it's actually 9 p.m. I shouldn't shout around like the fucking idiot I'm normally. Because I do not want to disturb all the other people in my house, or actually in my flat, I do just also have to take care of them and not bother them as well. I hope that the lighting is good, because I somehow figured out that actually having my Mac connected to the TV that is in front of me to actually get a little bit more light, it's not the best idea. I've actually figured a way out how I can have a white image on my TV, which is great, because I can actually plug in a USB and have some, picture there, which is enormously great just because there is a white picture now. And this is actually the only reason why I am bright now and why you can actually see me, even though the quality is not perfect. But yeah, I guess it is okay. You can see me. I'm just, the color that I'm having is just quite interesting, to be honest, because I'm so cold. And this light is pretty warm. Maybe it is just somehow good. I don't think so. But yeah, what is there? There's a reflection in my eye, and I don't understand where. But yeah, let's actually see. This is another one from James Clear, as you can see there on the top left corner now. Why James Clear? Because they're amazingly great. That's fucking it. I think I do not just have to talk about it way more often, but they're just great. His articles are just great, and they're just really enjoyable to read. And I think by just saying they are just great, I said everything. They are enormously great. You can learn a lot from them, and you kind of just see, first of all, that he's a good writer, and second of all, you can also see that he knows shit. And this is very important. So yeah, I think we'll just go through it. Yeah. So motivation, the science guide on how to get and stay motivated. I somehow feel like that I've been gone through a part of it, but I'm not quite sure. I'm really not quite sure. I might have gone through this just already, and it isn't even a long time ago, or it hasn't been a long time since then, to be honest. I do just forget a lot of things, which is not bad, by the way. I do just also forget the bad things. Often I do forget good things as well. Not really bad. Forgetting the bad things is enormously great, just because I do not cripple myself by them, just because I forget them. Because I'm so into what I'm doing at the time, whether it be just, only when it is something that I enjoy, actually. If it is something that I do not enjoy, I kind of do not feel like I'm just really getting just sucked into it, sucked into the task of doing it. When it is something that I like, it is actually the case. And then I forget just everything, quite. It is the exact same thing when I'm recording. When I'm recording, most of the time, I'm actually in the recording. I'm actually in the recording. But I just really feel like I am just in the recording. I should have it up there somewhere. I think that's better. Just because if I make some weird gestures, then you can see it everywhere. Also in the back here. But yeah, not that bad. And I think I think the case is that if I'm just doing that, you can actually see my whole body moving, or the whole shadow behind me moving. I guess this just says a lot about how fucking bright it is just on my desk. It is I don't know. The thing is, it could be brighter, and I could also just have more lights here, which would definitely be good for the video quality, because this camera here is a complete piece of shit and only is somehow good when I have daylight. But because it is 9 p.m. actually, I do not have daylight. Therefore, I just need to deal with the shit that I'm having here. But yeah. The thing is, I kind of feel like that I went through some sort of the science guide on how to get and stay motivated. I think I have somehow, but I'm not quite sure. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna go through it anyway. Just because. So motivation is powerful, yet tricky beast. So motivation is a powerful, yet tricky beast. Sometimes it is really easy to get motivated and you find yourself wrapped in a whirlwind of excitement. Actually the case, and I think you know it as well. Other times it is nearly impossible to figure out how to motivate yourself and you're trapped in a death spiral. I hope it's not a death spiral of procrastination. So this page contains the best ideas and most useful research on how to get and stay fucking motivated. This isn't going to be some rah-rah, pumped-up motivational speech. That's not my style. Instead, we're going to break down the science behind how to get motivated in the first place and how to stay motivated for the long run. Which is really important. Just having the rah-rah and just getting motivated and whatsoever. You can watch some stupid motivational speeches. The thing is, they're not stupid. They're incredibly great. The downside of them is that a lot of people just listen to them, as I assume actually, I don't know, I assume. A lot of people watch them and listen to them no matter what, and then they do nothing about it, which is actually not the case of motivational speeches. At my point of view, there are motivational speeches so that you do shit, to actually motivate you to do shit. The thing is, it sometimes doesn't happen, and this is then the bad thing. I liked motivational speeches, and I still like them. I even love them, I would say. I would actually say I've been listening to a bunch of them, whether it is actually from Gary Vee, even though I know he doesn't like it, that he just seems to be a motivational speaker, but there definitely are some movies of him which are pretty motivational. I'm actually talking about motivational stuff, whether it be a movie, whether it be just a dedicated motivational speech, no matter what it is, doesn't fucking care, but it motivates you. This is just what matters here. The thing is, I love speeches. I really love them. The good thing about them is, and I've been actually listening to them 3 years ago or something, or 2 years ago, when I actually started to listen to them, and I still think that this is actually the foundational work, or these motivational speeches or speakers somehow as well have laid down the fundamental of my mindset or how I am nowadays or how I am in the now, which if you think about it is kind of crazy, to be honest, because my character got fucking made up by fucking speeches from some people. It seems to be just pretty crazy and it seems to be just pretty fucked up as well, but it is actually the case, and I'm not just gonna bullshit you. It is actually the case. At least I think it is. Therefore, motivational speeches as such is definitely also one of the things that I suggest people to do and or to listen to, because there are a bunch of good at them. Les Brown has a lot of good motivational speeches. Will Smith actually, Gary Vee of course. It just really depends on what person you like the most, and I think if there's then a motivational speech about them, which is quite often the case if it is just a public figure, then why not? Why wouldn't you listen to it? To just get the motivation, to just not kind of maybe only consume music as well, because I exchanged music with motivational speeches and or podcasts and whatever it is. Besides the whole fact that, I do not have a lot of space on my fucking devices, On my phone, there's no fucking space, which is a little bit bothering me, just because, I would like to record some things, actually some videos on there as well, and to just then create some whatever, but I can't, But I shouldn't dwell about it. Some people do not have even a phone, I'm just really fucking grateful. Or I should be fucking grateful for what I'm having. It's insane what I'm having. But yeah, let's actually move on. The whole point of my speech actually is that motivational speeches are not bad. They are pretty great, at my point of view at least. If you don't like them, I understand this as well. The thing is, And the thing that I want to point out is that if you're listening to a motivational speech, why do I always change it up or miss it? Never mind. So if you're listening to a motivational speech, then you also have to do shit. Please do shit. Only getting motivated, only dreaming about stuff is not enough. It really is just not enough. But yeah. So instead, we're going to break down the science behind how to get motivated and stay motivated for a long run, whatever. So whether you're trying to figure out how to motivate yourself or how to motivate a team, this page should cover everything you need to know. You can click the links below to jump to a particular section or simply scroll down to read everything. At the end of this page, you'll find a complete list of all the articles I have written on motivation, because I assume that there are a bunch of them. I really assume. So the first one is motivation. What is and how it works. So what it is and how it works. Scientists define motivation as your general willingness to do something. It is the set of psychological forces that compel you to take action. That's nice and all, but I think we can come up with a more useful definition of motivation. So what is motivation? Once again. So what is motivation exactly? The author Steven Pressfield, that you might know, has a great line in his book, The War of Art. The War of Art? The Art of War? The War of Art? You probably know the book, The Art of War. At least I think it is called like this. Which is actually a pretty old book, and you can often find it as a free version, but a legal free version, of course. You can get a lot of books for free, like nearly every single book you can get for free. And I've been also not listening, but also reading a bunch of free Kindle books, like ebooks you can download somewhere. It is fairly easy, but I would suggest not to do it, because if you're the author of this book or of these books, then you wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it as well. Like, you would like to just get the money, and like, just to be really frank now, no, don't do it. Like, really don't do it. The chances are there, the possibilities are there. It is really fucking easy. But the thing is, first of all, if you buy a book, it is really like you're just gonna fucking read it because you fucking bought that book. Even though, that also depends on just how you think about it. If you have just way too much money and you kind of fuck with it anyway. And the thing is, like, I don't know, I think you just take it more seriously, which might be correlated to the first point that I was willing to make as well. But I don't know. I think it's just better, from the standpoint of the author and from your standpoint on, it is just better, no matter what, it is just better to buy your fucking book and not just get some free bullshit version from the internet. I often kind of feel like that, I don't know, like they could just destroy the whole fucking thing and then you think like, okay, this is the book, but in the end it is not. Well, yeah, but this is just some some cynical shit there. So the War of Art. But let's actually, I do just wanna, The Art of War. Yeah, it is called The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Or Sun Tzu. I don't know. Could be the case. But let me show you. Because just because I do have the ability, I want to show you. I want to show you as well. There you have it. Let's do it like this. And I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. I think you can see the whole screen like I see it, which is great. Just because I can zoom in right now, and you should see the exact same thing as I'm seeing. Yeah. And I should probably do it like this. Let's just have it there. Nice. So, The Art of War is an ancient Chinese military treatise dating from the late spring and autumn period. The work, which is attributed to the ancient Chinese military strategist Sun Tzu, is composed of 13 chapters. Each one is devoted to an aspect of warfare and how it applies to military strategy and tactics. So basically, it's a book of war. To be just really basic here, the thing is, and it is actually from, so it is ancient, they say, like, publication date, the 5th century BC. The thing is, the funny thing about this is that, like, let me see you. The thing is, this book still matters, and this is what it is. This is what it is insane. Like, it is fucking insane. You know, having a book from the 5th fucking century after BC, or century BC, or which is actually before Christ, isn't it? It's just insane. It really is insane. And I often just think about it, that so many old things still matter a fucking lot. And it is good. It is really good. There's nothing to kind of debate about that. But it's just interesting, to see, okay, these old things from just back then are just also applicable to what we're doing right now, which is also the case with Stoicism as such. Stoicism as such is a pretty fucking old philosophy, and still people have used it, and I think are still going to use it in the future, but they've been using it just up to now. Like, it is just fucking insane. Insanely interesting. So which I think gets at the core of motivation. To paraphrase Pressfield, at some point the pain of not doing it becomes greater than the pain of doing it. In other words, at some point it is easier to change than to stay the same. It is easier to take action and feel insecure at a gym than to sit still and experience self-loathing on the couch. It is easier to feel awkward while making the sales call than to feel disappointed about your dwindling the sales call than to feel disappointed about your dwindling bank account. Yes, I think is the essence of motivation. Every choice has a price, but when we are motivated, it is easier to bear the inconvenience of action than the pain of remaining the same. Somehow we cross the mental. Do you know this moment when you just completely know that you have just read a complete bullshit? I think it was the case. I'm really sorry if I haven't read it correctly. So usually after weeks of procrastination and in the face of an impending deadline, and it becomes more painful to not do the work than to actually do it. The thing that I do just have to say that is, it is just so deeply correlated to passion. Like, it is insane. It is just correlated to it. Like, I can't do anything about it. I think it is not my choice, or it wasn't my choice. But like, if you're just really if you're motivated to do something, it probably is also something that you like to be doing. Like, I'm also motivated to sit here every single day and just record quite often. Sometimes I don't feel like it, but I would just still feel really disappointed. I would just still feel very bad if I don't do it. And it's the exact same thing with eating unhealthy for me. I'm basically eating healthy all the time. At least that's how I consider just healthy eating. Like, it is, a pretty broad thing. Like, a lot of people say you shouldn't eat this. A lot of people should say that you should not eat this and that and whatever. I kind of feel sometimes like that nobody actually knows what is good or what is bad. And in the end, everything is good and everything is bad. Besides the things that are pretty obvious, like, I don't know, alcohol and smoking and whatever. But I think that, people sometimes actually do not know what is actually good and what is actually bad, especially because it just really comes up to you and, how your body is and what you are just incapable of eating, basically, in just, from the perspective of your body. Just because, people have intolerances. I've had a fructose intolerance. I don't know, like fruit sugar, basically. And it was not the best thing. Just because I liked fruits back then, I just now like fruits I just like them. They're actually the only sweet thing that I can eat just because I consider them healthy. The thing is, I just notice I'm getting diarrhea because of them and just other kind of fucked up shit. But you know what? I don't fucking care. I know it might not be the healthiest thing, as I just see it with my body. And I think this is just not only for me the case. For some things that actually seem to be or are healthy, still some people reacted in a really bad way, where diarrhea, or just pretty light diarrhea, just... The thing is, just talking about my fucking poop is, shit, I'm not gonna be family friendly. Oh, God. I think I'm gonna stop talking right now and start reading. So now for the important question, what can we do to make it more likely that we cross this mental threshold and feel motivated on a consistent basis? So what I actually want to say is that if you're just passionate about something, it is definitely also one of the things that you're motivated to do because you just like it, because it is something that you like. Therefore, it just really plays into another thing that I am always talking about, which is doing the shit that you actually like, and not just going for something that might give you a lot of money, even though you don't like it, Why would you? First of all, it just takes a fucking lot of time and a lot of practice and a lot of just willpower and energy and whatever to get good at something that you're not good at, and you're not passionate about, because if you're not passionate about this certain thing, then you're not going to work as hard about it as about something that you're actually passionate about. So in the end, it is a circle of pain and death and, well, not death, but definitely pain. No, just don't do it. I would say just don't do it. This is the bottom line of it. The thing is, I completely know that I've gone through these things. I haven't seen this graph though. I really haven't. Fuck. Let's actually see. So, common misconceptions about motivation. One of the most surprising things about motivation is that it often comes after starting a new behavior and not before. Therefore, just do shit, motherfucker. Just do shit. Like, I've been starting this journey of me posting at least one video a day. Because I was just liking it. I still like it. There must be just something that you just want to do as well. So why wouldn't you just start it? And the motivation comes afterwards. You just have to start. I think motivation is actually not the only thing that you need. There also has to be just some place for discipline as well, at my point of view. Because, sometimes we are not motivated. It is just what it is. It is just sometimes the case that we are not motivated. And then fucking discipline or grit, if you want to call it like this, fucking kicks in. And it kicks in and just drags you through the fucking shit of, well, not being motivated. So yeah, this might also be the thing that I'm having actually with healthy eating. Like, of course, just like sometimes I feel like, which is actually pretty rarely to be honest, but sometimes I really feel like, well, just some chocolate or something would be nice. It is really rare that I'm feeling the way. But sometimes it is. But I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. Just because I would feel so fucking bad afterwards. Like, not having eaten something sweet. So, some sweets, actually. So, not something sweet, but some sweets for, 2 years, 1 year, whatever it is. And then eating something? Nah. Well, it would just really fuck me, I guess. It just really is way more easier for me to not eat just unhealthy than to eat unhealthy, to be really honest. Like, I would feel so bad. I would really feel so bad. So fucking... I can't even just explain it in fucking words how bad I would feel if I would do it, I guess. And then I'm doing it tomorrow and then I just really feel fucked. But yeah, let's actually see. So we have this common misconception that motivation arrives as a result of passively consuming a motivational video or reading an inspirational book or quote, whatever. I think quotes are just the really, like, I don't know, everybody seems to be doing it, and I don't know, like, in the end, the funny thing about it is that just in the end, most of these motivational kind of quote pages, which I think I am not actually, even though I have sometimes been thinking about it in such a way. Maybe I do not want to think about me as such because, well, it is not about me not liking them, but I believe that everyone tries to do them. And in the end, they all are in just some engagement groups they're called. And, in the end, it is basically the exact same community that is pushing their own fucking shit. Like, it just doesn't make any sense, to be honest. Like, you're having some other people liking your shit and you're liking their shit, and then you get pushed and it doesn't make any sense. Like, if the thing is, and this is something that I do just have to remind myself on also relatively often, to be honest, if people just don't consume your shit, it is not good enough, I guess. Sometimes they haven't found you, and sometimes not the right person has found you yet. But often it is actually the case that it is just not good enough. It is just not fucking good enough. It is what it is. And the thing is, then having some engagement groups and whatever, I think won't make the deal, to be honest. Even though chances are there that somebody, one of the just early birds or just early adopters to frame it differently, chances are just higher that they just, come around, see your shit and spread it across. Chances are there. But the thing is, I don't know, like the really good shit, the really fucking good shit just spreads so fucking quickly like a fucking virus. It's insane. I don't know, think about Facebook or something. I think it spread just so incredibly fast. I think it had, let me see, 1 million users Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg and co-founders Dustin Moskovitz, Chris Hooks, whatever. I think it's Hacks, but I don't know. Let's actually show you as well. I do not want to see that, please. Why is this now broken? Thank you. So Mark Zuckerberg and co-founders, blah, 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 blah. Launched Facebook. Facebook expands from Harvard to Stanford, Columbia, and Yale. Launch of the Facebook wall, giving people a place to post messages to their friends. 1 million people are now active on Facebook. What the fuck is this post from 1999? Funny joke, I know. But by now they seem to have 2.3 billion monthly active users, which is fucking insane. It is fucking insane. Our first 100 million. 2008. Fuck you. You can see there. In 2008, they had their first 100 million people. 100 million. We are just 3 billion by now. 8 billion by now. Are we 8 billion? 7.53 billion. To be really correct here. It is insane. It spread so fucking quickly. It was just insane. But yeah, let's actually move on for a bit, I guess. Well, yeah, so however, active inspiration can be a far more powerful motivator. And then there is a link to the active inspiration tab or article as well. I might go through it as well, because I haven't gone through it and it might be just really valuable. So motivation is often the result of action and not the cause of it. Getting started, even in very small ways, is a form of active inspiration that naturally produces momentum. So just start, I would say. I like to refer to this effect as the physics of productivity, because this is basically Newton's first law applied to habit formation. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Once a task has begun, it is easier to continue moving it forward. I think, and I'm there thinking about habits, I think it is also just the exact same thing with habits. Once you start a habit, it is way easier to just hold up, to just drag it around, to just have it, than to just starting it. I think starting it is the most, well, even though, like starting it is easy though, it's just really complicated. Starting is relatively easy. Sticking to it is not so easy. But the thing is, once you have started, there is actually the chance to sticking it. And if you do not start, there is no chance to sticking it, just because you haven't started. Makes sense. But yeah. So you don't need much motivation once you have started a behavior. Nearly all of the friction in a task is at the beginning. After you start, progress occurs more naturally. In other words, it is often easier to finish a task than it was to start it in the first place. Thus, one of the keys to getting motivated is to make it easy to start. Before we talk about how to get started, let's pause for a second. If you're enjoying this article on motivation, then you'll probably find my other writing on performance and human behavior useful. Each week I share self-improvement tips based on proven scientific research through my free email newsletter. To join now, click here. So if you're interested in James Clear's newsletter, then I would just totally get it. I think by just Googling it, you might get across it. I think so, yeah, probably. Really probably. Yeah, I hope this episode actually got you to something or brought some value to you, I guess. Well, yeah, I hope the quality is also fine. I just, changed a little bit the settings to just, be sure that the quality is consistent at least. Yeah, but yeah. Thank you very much for listening and watching, because this episode is also available as a podcast. If you've been just listening to me on the YouTube video, there's also a podcast version of it. So therefore, just check it out. It's easier, to just then consume it, because you can do it everywhere and or anywhere, whatever. I wish you the best health, permanence, and also success. And I also hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you gonna be fucking remembered, which means your legacy, which means living to your funeral basically, and then seeing what people are talking about you. If they talk you or about you okay, it was a piece of shit, then you haven't done anything or everything right, I guess. But yeah, even though right is just pretty subjective. I wish you the best. I see you the next time. Stay pumped, stay motivated. Do your shit, start your shit, and I see you the next time, once again. I at least hope, to be honest.